Um, Welcome to another
Fun field
edition,
day. A
of
real estate backstory.
the real estate backstory. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker here at Maximum One,
My name is Ming Richardson. I'm the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partners.
and we've been having some technical difficulties. Just like letting everybody know out there that it's just kind of how it is. Um, so Zoom is down, so we're just kind of going live from workplace this morning, and so that's kind of where we're at here. So we hope you can join us, and we're going to kind of get started here. So first thing I'd like to kind of talk about is there is a old Polish proverb called "Not my circus, not my clowns." And when you put that in there's another quote which says success in almost any field depends more on energy and drive than it does on intelligence, and that this explains why we have so many stupid leaders. I'm going to put those two together and say, listen, this is the time of year, or the time of every 4 years, when everything starts getting political and everything starts getting a little bit polarizing and crazy. And the U.S. is extremely polarized right now. Um, and so last week the Democrat National Convention was in place. This week the Republican National Convention is in place. Last week it was all about everything going on. This week it'll be everything that the Republicans and Trump says. And I'm going to urge caution, wisdom, and remember, it's
Self
not.
and
Yeah,
also self control.
yeah.
Honestly, this is not your fight. And as Alan had mentioned before, why would you want to upset half of your clients while making the other half happy at this time? Because we don't need to express our political view online. Because our whole objective in real estate is to serve the public, not inject our personal opinion.
And it's kind of like news, I mean, you always know the news is biased, and in the real estate world, if aggravating or making half of the folks that you want to do business with upset is a really bad play for you. So I'm going to urge that you stay as apolitical as possible, kind of thing. Just because it's smart. Every 4 years this happens, and we have agents who like, I lost a client because I they saw a post and I had on so and so's button, or I had this on. So promote folks to please get out and vote, express your opinion, help make change happen. That kind of stuff is great. But if you're going to do, make America great again, or I'm with Biden, then be ready for those consequences. Now, you may choose, you are a small business person. You can choose to operate your business how you choose. But we are still going to urge that you be wise. Remember, it is not your circus, and these are not your clowns. So please, if you want to sell real estate, focus on selling real estate. That's a really, really great way to be.
Matter of fact, I encourage you to, if you want to announce anything at all, announce first time home buyers. Announce how you can help these clients. Announce the fact that the interest rates are lowest, that they actually get to buy more homes than they could with a much higher interest rate. So educate your client, and go for that standpoint.
All right, this week at Maximum One Training, MX1 Training. So tomorrow we have Real Estate Marketing Technology Secrets. That's by the communities folks. We have on Wednesday, Code of Ethics is coming out. Our promise of professionalism, which is important. We need it every 3 years now. Thursday, we have Tech Thursday, and this week is going to be Wordsworth is going to be going over using Vulcan 7. That's a really useful tool that so many folks don't know how to use. So please take care of that. Also on Thursday, we have weird contract forms, brokerage engagements, exhibits, amendments, and steps. So that's a really great thing to make sure that you're up to speed on. So please join us on those as far as the training coming up this next week. Also, I'd like to kind of take just a quick minute and talk about using text codes for real estate. I know this is not always just, we like to share information that can help you grow your business. And right now, one of the cool things I think is out there that a lot of folks are not taking advantage of is
Mm-hmm.
utilizing text codes. So, 85% of text messages are read within 5 minutes, but consumers only open about 15% of the emails that they receive. And so, creating a text marketing plan is not really that tough of a thing to do. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is to start creating call to action plans, but not things that just necessarily reach out just on text, but be able to use text in your marketing efforts on social media, for example, is one of the biggies out there, kind of thing. So, so like on Facebook, if you put text condo to 770-616-5062 to learn more about available properties in ABC Resort, that's a great thing to put out there. There are a lot of services that do it. Like we have a partnership with List Reports, and they have some amazing ones that you can do as well. And that's an automated service. And if you are signed in, please sign in with List Reports and look at what you can be doing with that. It is a big help out there. But you can send all kinds of really cool campaigns and share messages, kind of thing, out there to the public that can help you grow your business. So some of the favorite ones that we see being utilized very effectively right now. So first one is text worth to see how text worth to 123-456 to see how much a buyer in today's market is willing to pay for your home. Text fine to see a list of properties in XYZ neighborhood. Text Union Grove to 123-456 to see a list of homes in the Union Grove School District, or whichever school district it is in your area, kind of thing.
You can text Key for me to get pre-approved with lender.
Yeah.
So these are just tricks and trade, honestly, for sellers and buyers. A lot of people will look at that more quickly than just a pretty email format these days.
Yeah.
Text Alan to sit down and talk about your real estate goals.
That kind of thing. If you're having a seller seminar, text seller to 123-456-789, to be invited. Text open to this number to see our virtual open house. Text home 2020 to see to be able to search like an agent in today's market. Text keys to 123-456 to get a weekly list of homes in your market, in your area, that matches what you're looking for. These are great messages to send out. Plus, it helps you look incredibly effective and technology based in the whole 9 yards. You can use these automated services, which has just shorter numbers, but honestly, you can just use your regular cell phone. And how great is that you get a text that says worth to your cell phone, and immediately whoever just texted you wants to know how much their home is worth. Please put these messages out there, and folks will utilize text message. They're heavily. So, a couple of things, new things here. So, first of all, the last Blockbuster store in the U.S. is now
listed as Airbnb.
It's an Airbnb rental. Because I know this is funny. Okay,
where?
The last Blockbuster shut in 2010, but now they've reopened a new one. It's in Bend, Oregon, if you'd like to go, and it is a B&B rental, Airbnb rental that you can go and rent. I just thought that was really funny, kind of thing. So I did want to kind of brag a little bit, kind of thing. So we were, as a company, we were just listed on the Atlanta Business Chronicle's 100 fastest growing private companies in Georgia, and we got listed on Inc.'s 5,000 fastest growing companies in America. And so that's a big shout out to y'all. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And the trust that you have in us, and that means just a whole lot to us out there, kind of thing. So, we sent out an email earlier this week. If you haven't got it, if you need it, please let us know. We'll send it out to you. But this is kind of Ming's thing, and so
we have a lot of question reference to the Guard Foreign lead base exhibit, and what I did is basically I redlined everything in there, what it means and what it does. By federal law, which trumps state and your license law, okay? And this is why the fine is $11,000 to $16,000, because you're dealing with the federal government. This is under EPA as well. So there absolutely cannot be any mistakes in the lead-based paint, Okay. Not only that, as a listing agent, you have to have this pre-filled out prior going to binding. Not only that, the seller needs to initial on the lead-based pamphlet, along with a lead-based paint exhibit, and you guys need to upload this into the MLS and FMLS
Keep it in your docs.
in your docs.
Yeah.
So, as a listing agent, now as selling agent, the information is not provided because not every brokerage practice the way some of us do. So,
Very
if
PC way to
you,
be.
well, I mean, not everybody does, and I have a lot of question about that. So, so as a selling agent, if the documentation is not provided, when you do buyer brokerage agreement, you should already include lead-based pamphlet every single time. I don't care if the house is listed after 1978. Just a courtesy, go ahead, give it to them. Reason being is that, with all the renovation with the ship lap.
Yeah, ship shap.
Can't talk this morning either. I was shiplap design, everything else, and you may have a piece of mantle or a door that is mahogany that may have been painted prior to 1978. So you don't know that, or kitchen cabinets that you recycle, refurbish. So it is important to give these documentation to the client. So if the house is built after 1978, buyer's agent, I know on the buyer section 3A, B, and C, okay, the buyer needs to initial off all three of them. And then on the C section, they need to choose one. Either they waive the right or they have 10 days to inspect.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of people get confused on number A on 3A, where buyer and tenant has received copy of all information. The caveat on here is if any listed above.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of agents think, well, the seller said there's nothing there, so there's nothing given. So why should the buyer initial off on this? First of all, let me remind you, it's $11,000 to $16,000 fine. Okay. I am not willing to take a risk on it. Not only that, if you read the language carefully, it says, if any listed above. So if the seller has to answer 2.A and B, information has been given.
Yeah, that's all the information there is. So
right,
and so this is one of those where we are real estate professionals. We need to behave like real estate professionals and understand that the public trust is crucial to us. We have to protect our clients and we have to protect ourselves. This is not a game, and even though a lot of the state laws don't pertain to this lead-based paint exhibit kind of thing,
this is federal.
But this is federal, and so this thing kind of jumps. It jumps the gate on the importance.
It trumps.
Thank you, Trump.
It trumps over state or your professional licensing. So please get this done. And I know a lot of people say, well, we didn't never got this before we went binding. Lead-based paint is not a negotiation point between due diligence period. It should have been done prior to binding. If you can't get cooperation from the other agent or broker, whatever it is, go ahead, upload an email where they refuse to sign. This will protect us from liability.
Yep. All right. Last week we saw that the stocks really hit a big rally last week. As a matter of fact, the stock market's up over pre-COVID times now, kind of thing. And one thing that we tend to see is that when the stocks do really good, mortgage rates sometimes take a little bit of a hit. But when you look at the minutes from the last Fed meeting, that they are motivated to keep the rates low. And there's still a lot of uncertainty out there, and then we're also seeing that inflation hasn't really moved in. Last week's mortgage rate still came in under 3, which is already amazing. It came in at 2.99 for a 30-year fixed kind of thing. And so interest rates are still really low, which is definitely helping to drive what we see going on in our real estate market right now. Excuse me. One of the other interesting things that just came out is that VA loans are huge right now. VA loan activity in Georgia Overall, as a nation, it's up 114%. In Atlanta itself, we had a 105.9 increase in VA loans this year versus last year. So that's a really great thing, because the nice thing about having VA loans is that they don't require any money down. They do have the VA funding fee, and sometimes they can take a little bit longer. Our only challenges with the VA loans have sometimes been on the appraisal issues and that kind of thing. So do look at VA loans right now, and we love working with our veterans kind of thing, and so that is just a really good thing. So, but do understand that VA is up big right now. Continuing unemployment. Claims fell, but it did jump back up to over 1 million again last week. It was under 1 million
Right.
the week before, and so that does show that we're not out of the woods yet, but things are still kind of looking up. The number of mortgages in active forbearance has continued to decrease. It's a very steady kind of decline all the way through. It was about 5 million households, and now it's under 4, so it's like 3.93 million kind of thing. But one of the big questions coming out of that is there a foreclosure crisis coming? And now Ming and I kind of differ on this one a little bit. I feel much stronger about it right now, and it's okay because we disagree a lot because we're married. That's how it goes. No, but my personal feeling is that this is very unlikely to produce a wave of foreclosures. Yes, we are going to see an uptick, mainly because there's so many things stopping any foreclosures from going through. That the moratoriums are those, like right now we're down 85% in foreclosures from last year, and there's no like 85% down is huge. And so yes, there's going to be some kind of a natural backlog. I got that. But on the other side of things, the housing market is way stronger than it was like in '08, and compared to a decade ago kind of thing. We have much more strict lending standards now than we had. Household debt to income ratio is off the charts better than how it was kind of thing. The majority of homeowners that are in forbearance, like 70% of them, have over 40% equity in their homes already.
Now, agent, this is where you need to go after, actually. This is when you need to call these people that don't know what their rights are and don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So if they have 40% equity in the house, they can sell it, okay, without being in debt or have a bad credit report. Or being foreclosed on. And remember, Georgia is a foreclosure state. So after 90 days, the bank gets to advertise for another 30 days. And after that, guess what? You're out.
You can.
So all I'm saying is that if you know someone that is struggling, has taken the forbearance, you might want to talk to them what their options are and get
because
the
there are a lot of
cash out.
scams on that out there. See, the bottom line here is that the coronavirus and what's happening in the economy, unfortunately, maybe I don't know how you want to put this, it's impacting on renters. Renters are hit, like 10 to 1 harder than homeowners are.
That's where I see potential foreclosure, simply because the renter can't afford and investor can't maintain the rental property.
Well, and we're going to talk a little bit more about rents in just a minute, because I got some interesting rent figures to share with everyone. So we got some interesting information on third quarter GDP forecast by a lot of leading economists kind of thing. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan both have the third quarter GDP up by 25%. Mm-hmm. Morgan Stanley around 20. But basically across the board, it's basically over 20% on third quarter GDP kind of thing. And so we are starting to see a very strong economic recovery kind of thing. But the caveat here is going to be what happens with COVID. How long does it last? Are there going to be more government restrictions? That kind of stuff. So I don't love wearing masks, but I'll tell you, I'll wear a mask if it keeps us from shutting the economy down again, kind of thing. So we are seeing some really positives right there. July home sales really showed that the recovery is kind of sticking with us right now, kind of thing. Existing home sales was up almost 25% in July, and that's carried over, and we're seeing the same thing into August right now. One of the cool things is that purchase applications week over week are up, And normally this time of year, it's the exact opposite. Like
Right.
we normally have this our summer trend, and as soon as schools kick in, boy, the purchase applications, which is a leading indicator for where the market's going. Purchase applications, that's those mortgage applications, those drop because people are getting into the swing, trying that kind of thing, and so we start seeing a downward trend. Well, guess what? They went up last week, and so not only are we up over prior weeks, we are destroying last year. Like last year, we're over about 25% kind of thing um, in purchase applications versus last year, and we're up 2%, which was up 2% from the week before.
And like Alan said earlier on in June, July, that fall's going to be our new summer, and it has been. And honestly, our brokerage itself and National Association Realtor also stated that there's surge in numbers. June was our best, absolute best month over the year. July was close, and August is going to be a close one with July.
Yeah.
So that tells me you guys are hustling out there, and also there are buyers out there that wants to purchase. So listing agent, this is your time to shine.
Well, and we're seeing that even right now, new pending deals are up also. Again, this is the time of year when normally things start doing this, but guess what? Boom, this is different. So please don't. What we want to make sure is that you don't think, okay, this is business as usual. This market is not the same as past markets. You really need to be hustling right now because the activity level, if you're not doing it, understand somebody else is. So don't put it in your mind that school's here. We need to back off. Things slow down because guess what?
It's not.
Yeah, buckle
And
up,
also,
Buttercup.
as a listing agent, just a tips for you guys. There's because inventory is so short, a lot of buyers agents are desperate and they're making blind offers and stuff like that. Make sure you double check with the buyer's lender to see how solid they are and what type of loan it is, and then advise your client accordingly. I have seen people that write personal letter that actually trump a loan that's easier than the others. So all those things does matter, but just make sure you do your due diligence on both sides.
Yep. Now the economy right now, we're on real estate. It's hitting on the commercial side. Commercial real estate borrowing is half of where it was, and of that half, some are down significantly more than that kind of thing. So because and some are actually up, multifamily and industrial are actually have not been hit at all, but hotel loans are down 91%. Retail's down 64%. Office is down 71%. So not everything is down, but the majority of it is, and we're seeing overall that. But you have to understand that residential real estate is driven by by supply and demand. Commercial real estate is heavily driven by the economy, and even though we're starting to see some rebounds with the
Well,
economy, it lags behind, and right now commercial's feeling it.
well, not only that, if you look at the habits of the buyer and the habits of our current situation, I mean, there's not a whole lot of people going out to the mall and shop and all that jazz. So, those reflect the economy, how our habits has changed.
Yeah. Now, on the, I guess you call it good news, iBuyer market share, boom, is way down. iBuyers are down 90% from where they were. So COVID has really, really shaken up the iBuyers, which just breaks my heart. Not at all. And so, we are going to see the iBuyers moving back into the market somewhat, but it looks like as of right now, they are very tentative about moving in kind of thing. Because see, a lot of the U.S. markets are really hot. We have very low inventory. We have massive buyer demand and rising prices. That's not really a great environment for the iBuyers, which makes me really, really happy kind of thing. So we've seen that the iBuyer purchases are way down, and I'm hoping it stays that way because we need the inventory way more than they do, in my opinion. So that's really good news kind of thing. On the inventory front, new homes are posting really large gains, kind of thing. Home building picked up for the third straight month, and right now residential construction starts are up 22% over last year. We're at our highest construction rate in since
And that's due
2016. Yeah,
to low inventory on the resale side.
yeah. But you understand that the builder confidence, every week or every month, I'm sorry, every month they poll the builders and see what is your builder, how much confidence do you have right now. Our builder confidence hit the highest, well, match the highest ever recorded number, kind of thing. So, it's at a 78, and I know that that's just a random number, but 78 is the highest number ever. And the last time that happened, it's the highest number in 35 years. So that's a really great thing, and because we need more inventory. So I'm glad to see the builders in. That's a double-edged sword. We have to, we got to work with them. We got to keep them straight too, kind of thing.
Right, and a lot right now, a lot of you see that builder offering 2.5% versus traditional 3% to the selling agent, and also some of them are offering net sale commission versus the gross sale price commission. So read your contract carefully on that end of it. Because a lot of them are not giving you credit for the upgrades or anything like that. So, and they can't because inventory is short.
And they write their own contracts.
Yes.
So, permits for future construction is up about 20%. Our permit level right now is the most since January of 1990. So this is great. We really, really need that. So that inventory hopefully will help ease up some fears. But, we're a few months away from actually getting that inventory in place. FMLS is put out. So if you,
Right.
jump in with FMLS, you'll see that FMLS is partnering with Middle Georgia MLS, kind of thing, and we're interested because up here in Atlanta we have, a lot of times we have clients that will cross over. We'd like to be able to pull some of that data, and you can start getting some of that data, but there's some caveats here, and there's also a lot of unknowns.
Right.
So, are FMLS fees applicable on properties purchased in Macon? We don't know yet.
I actually sent an email to the compliance broker to see if our member is subject to FMLS fee if the property is listed in Middle Georgia MLS in their system.
And even in the past, we weren't able to. You had to be a member of it, Middle Georgia MLS for your lock boxes to be able to work. We don't know if that.
No, I do know that answer. I'm sorry. Your lockbox do not work in Middle Georgia MLS unless you are a member of Middle Georgia MLS. Okay,
See, that's what I'm
That's
talking about.
one of the caveat that they don't tell you. So even though you have access to the database, it does not mean you have access to their super lockbox. So the fee is something that I'm interested to hear back from them to see whether or not FMLS will be collecting fees. That is reciprocated listing from Middle Georgia MLS.
Yeah, and if you are a Middle Georgia MLS agent, the good news is that they're adding a lot of tools and features that come out of FMLS to be able to do that. So we're going to jump back into renters really quick, and that we got some new information about rent growth in the U.S. and rent growth is slowing across the U.S. kind of all the way March to July 2020. We're seeing that rents are down. Here in the Atlanta area, kind of thing. If you look at the last 12 months, for the last annual year, Georgia rents are down 1.6%, kind of across the board, kind of thing. Whereas overall, in Georgia is down about 0.2. The nation is pretty much flat, but Georgia in Atlanta in particular, and by Atlanta I mean all the areas around Atlanta, is down about 1.6%. And we're kind of seeing that kind of trend. On the positive side, in Atlanta, our rents are pretty reasonable overall. For large metropolitan areas, our rents are actually pretty good compared to other cities of our comparable size. Most of the time, our rental rate is more comparable to smaller towns and that kind of thing. But we are still below the national average as far as that goes.
And just so you know, Alan and I do have a PowerPoint slide for this today's meeting. We will attach it in Workplace.
Yeah, we couldn't put it out there because it was kind of.
Well, this is a
Yeah,
Workplace versus a Zoom
yeah,
meeting
yeah,
where we can actually have both the
yeah.
best to the,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
both of
Zoom
the
threw
best
up all
work.
over itself, so we had to adapt. So,
So,
all right, I got some really interesting information this week that we have some sticker shock. Utility bills, on average, have been continuing to move up. The average electricity bill is $110. The average gas is $72. Average water is $70, which I thought was really high.
that's
Cable's
because we're on
$85. Internet
septic.
$60. Yeah. Trash is about $15. But the average utility bill for the average American is $398. But Georgia is listed as one of the 5 most expensive utility states. Here in Georgia, our average is about $440, which is about 10% higher than the rest of the nation. We are the 5th highest utilities. Hawaii's first, Florida second, South Carolina, Alabama, and then us.
Who would thought Alabama
I know
beat
who's like
us?
Alabama. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Alabama doesn't beat us in many things, but
So,
no, sorry.
but it was interesting just to get the utility data across the board.
But one thing that kind of makes me, sorry, we're gonna try this again. We need energy efficiency. Therefore, is an important deal for our clients. How energy efficient our properties are, being able to offer energy efficient items, upgraded insulation, windows, doors, that kind of stuff.
Spray foam,
It's
all that
it's
jazz.
it's gonna help out with one of those things because the utilities is one of those variable costs for our buyers. That in our area it is what it is. I understand that, but if we can help them save money there, but and as you're listing properties, things that will help with that utility bill can make your property more appealing, kind of thing. We got so here in Atlanta, we are the home of Home Depot, kind of thing, and Home Depot sales are up 25%. I mentioned Home Depot last week, and I wasn't sure that I was really clear in there. Home Depot is having supply issues, but not just Home Depot, Lowe's.
Everybody.
We're having supply issues on getting materials in, and part of that is because we are buying the daylights out of some fixer up stuff, kind of thing.
Curb
So
appeal looks
yeah,
great. The interior looks
yeah,
great. So
that's been really, really good, and so it's great that we're investing in homes, and we're investing in those homes, and then we're turning around and selling those homes for more money. So we're seeing that yes, Home Depot sales are up. Their inventory is tight, but it's not just them, and a lot of
well,
it's been.
it's reflected also with new construction.
Yeah.
With new construction going up 22%, that's just the basic supplies and demands.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a product, and just not enough production in line for
Yeah.
it.
And then we got 2 very conflicting reports this past week, and that is, with COVID, we've been hearing how people are fleeing big cities. And so Zillow came out and said, you know what? People are searching a lot outside of the big cities. And Zillow has been seeing that the suburban and rural zip codes have really been getting a lot more traction. But they also pulled up those numbers and said, you know what? They may be looking more, but they're not necessarily buying more. And we're not seeing that the city zip codes are going down in sales and that the suburban zip codes are increasing. That being said, the one place where we are seeing some movement is in rural, true rural. And we've seen that as well. A lot of our agents that have rural properties, they're flying off the market the way that other properties would be. We're seeing, whereas I may have expected 90 to 150 days or 180 days of marketing time for a 15 or a 20 acre tract with a house on it. Now we're seeing 2 weeks,
Yeah,
10 days, that kind of thing. And we've had ones that have fallen out and immediately jumped back in. So we are seeing price increases and activity levels in the rural areas that really are jumping out there and kind of rising up. So that's we just thought that was kind of interesting because we've been hearing that COVID was going to force more people out of the cities. And I think that it has made people search more, but they haven't really change their buying habits overall between suburban and urban, but in the rural areas, those are hot properties right now. So, which is kind of cool. This Tuesday at 9:30, Zillow is rolling out a new 3D floor plan product, and this is mainly for listing agents. We have more Zillow Premier agents as a brokerage. We have more Zillow Premier agents than any other brokerage in the state. So we kind of get advanced knowledge of what's going on with Zillow, and Zillow is rolling out 3D and floor plan products where you can get house photography and a 3D floor plan and a floor plan and a 3D tour, all for around $160. Floor plans is one of those things that has traditionally been very hard for listing agents to be able to create.
Especially if it's an older home. I mean, new construction, you have some sellers that's really good about keeping their data from the previous, when they bought the house and they have the floor plan. But for older floor plans, yeah.
Yeah, and well, that and the 3D floor plan is that's in the past been kind of ruled through the Matterhorn profile, and those have been extremely expensive to do, and so Zillow is moving into that range. And I know that Zillow's kind of a dirty word in the real estate world, kind of thing, but this is one of those things. If you're a listing agent, this is a very cost-effective way to be able to offer 3D virtual tours and floor plans and get your photography all done at the same time. So we'll put out the link about to the Zoom session, sharing that out, and please feel free to kind of jump in and look at that if that's something that you're interested in. Every week we have our accountability group that meets on Tuesday, so please, we encourage you Tuesdays at 10, jump in on our Zoom meeting, and we'll share the link out there as well in here, kind of thing. So that's kind of all we have for this week. So please, if we can be of any service, please let us know. Call, text, smoke signals. We answer it all, and we appreciate you.
As always, have a great Monday.
All right. Thank y'all.